Hello everybody and welcome to another Twilight Zone retro review. Today it is Season 1, Episode 13, The Four of Us Are Dying. Written by Rod Serling and starring Henry Towns as Arch Hammer, Philip Pine as Virgil Sterling, Ross Martin as Johnny Foster, Don Gordon as Andy Marchik, and Beverly Garland as Maggie. Yes, that is a lot of characters, and that is part one of many problems with this episode. I had seen this episode quite a few years back and not really thought much of it one way or another, but man, this episode was tough to sit through. This is easily the worst episode, so this episode was bad. And I'll go through it and tell you why. As always, there will be some spoilers in this review. So basically the premise of this episode is that there's this man, Arch Hammer, and he can change his face and turn into other people. Why he can do this or why he does it, I have no idea. And while in an episode like And When the Sky Was Open, where there's no explanation for certain things worked, it doesn't work here. More is definitely needed. So anyway, it starts where he goes into a bar and visits a singer named Maggie, and he goes as a person named Johnny Foster who's already been killed. He's basically impersonating him, and she thinks this character is dead. They talk for a while in a somewhat overdramatic scene that doesn't really work and is too long, and he basically wants her to go away with him. How or why, I have no idea. And then he goes outside once again when someone else thinks he recognizes him, and he's back to being Arch. So then we go to another scene where he becomes another person that he looks at that's already passed on, named Virgil. And he visits a man named Pennell, I think, and he says that this man double-crossed him, owes him money, and he takes a bunch of money from this guy. And basically, because he says it's owed to him, the other man, Pennell, thinks he's already dead. So there's some shock here. Then these other two guys come in that I'm assuming work for Pennell, and he runs out with all the money because they are after him. So these two guys follow him into an alley. Once again, he needs to change his face. So he sees like a poster on the wall or a fence or something. I'm not sure what that is. And he changes into this man named Andy Marchik. And basically, so the two men find him and they say, we're sorry, we thought you were someone else. So he gets out of that situation by impersonating yet another person. And basically, he's walking along and he comes across this old man. And this old man and him start talking, and the old man says, "Don't you know me? I'm your father." This is convenient that he just runs into his father. And this old man is just all over him. I mean, this guy must be some real bum, because the father just lays into him, tells him he runs away from everything. So basically, Arch, as Andy, gets frustrated, pushes the old man down and leaves. Well, now we go back to Arch's apartment, where he is Arch, and somebody is once again waiting for him. Boy, this guy has trouble no matter who he is or who he impersonates. And this man tells him he's going to put him away. He has to come with him. So he tries to ditch this guy as they're going out. They go through one of those rotating doors, and when he comes out the other side, he's once again Andy. Well, this confuses the guy that's with him and after him, so once again, he gets away from him, but the old man comes back and says he needs to get rid of him, and he shoots him. Yeah, because that's a good way to handle things. Just shoot someone in another overdramatic scene that doesn't really work at all. And then as he's lying on the ground, all four faces that he has played, his and the three others, rotate, and Rod Serling talks about how the four of them are dying. This episode just didn't work for me at all. It may work for some people. I thought it was over dramatic in places. The pacing of the scenes was odd. Some scenes felt rushed. Other scenes seemed like they went on forever. The premise is okay, but I think the episode probably needed either a longer amount of time or just more compact writing, because it seems like too much is kind of thrown together to use 4 different characters. And the problem is we don't really know enough about any of the characters to care, and the whole thing just seems kind of messy going from one thing to another. But there's a bigger problem with this episode. And the bigger problem is, why does this guy do all this? Why does he change faces? Just to get what he wants? Just to mess with other people? Does he have an ultimate goal? It's never said, and it just doesn't work for me. I actually found it hard to get through this episode, and this is the first episode I've watched. There have been some other ones that were just kind of meh so far, and a lot of great ones, but this episode I was really glad when it ended. And without carrying on and on, I'm going to give this one a 1.5 out of 5. 1.5 out of 5 I think is more than deserved for The Four of Us Are Dying. And thanks for watching. Bye.